You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with a dispute between Jamie Phillips and his grandmother, Mimi Davenport, over misused money.
Ms. Davenport, what's going on?
The dentist told me, Judge, that I had 3 root canals that needed to be done. When I went back to get it done, he took more x-rays and he then said that you only need the 2 up here. He said, you're going to be okay on the 1 on the bottom. So I only had 2 instead of the 3. Now, I never asked my grandson for money. He
Yeah, but you know he gave you money for the root canal.
as a gift. He
Well,
gave
but
me
for
for
root
pain.
canal, I'm sorry, but for the root canals, that's
Yeah.
it was a gift to
For my-
pay for the root canals, not to go to Vegas or do anything else.
He gave it to me as a gift for my pain. So when that happened and I had extra money,
Well, you
Judge,
didn't have
look at me,
extra
I'm
money.
old. I have a lot of
He
pain.
had money. He gave you too much money. Instead of you giving him the money you didn't need, you used it for something else that he didn't give it to you for, right?
because I have pain, just not pain from the neck up. I have really bad back pain. And when I
Well, who
saw
doesn't want a jacuzzi? I understand how much good a jacuzzi does. What I'm saying is, don't you think it might have been a little more honest to tell him, hey, I only needed 2, but it turns out there's a really good deal on a jacuzzi and my back is in pain. Do you mind if I use that money to, why would you just kind of renovate your bathroom without giving him the opportunity, giving him the chance to say, yeah, I'll give you money for your bathroom. In other words, he didn't give you money. You know he didn't give you money for a jacuzzi. You know that he only gave it to you because your teeth hurt and he thought you needed 3. So why wouldn't you return the rest of that money?
Because Your Honor, I understand what you're saying, but I didn't look at it that way. I just looked at it as that I'm watching my grandson like 3 times a week. I'm making dinners. I'm doing everything I can because now
So you
I'm
wanna get
part
paid?
of a. Yeah, no, that's okay. I am finally part of a family that
So
I
maybe
wanted.
you really should have looked at it the way I'm saying, because it cost you that part of the family. You know that she did have 2 root canals, right?
Yes.
But you're suing for the entire amount because now you're angry.
Believe me, when I walked in and saw that bathroom, the reason I am suing is because of that. Yes, if she had asked me about it or taken it in a different direction, maybe we wouldn't be here today. But I got so angry, and then especially going home and telling my mom and figuring out she's done this before about this 15,000.
Did you want to address
No.
that? Do you want to address that? Because he keeps saying that and I haven't given you a chance to
No,
address
it's
it.
not true.
What happened with that money?
When your grandfather died, he had $15,000 in his savings, and he said to me on his deathbed, he said, you take $10,000 of it and you give $5,000 to our daughter.
Okay,
That's what
usually
he said.
these things are not up for grabs. You either die with a will or you don't die with a will.
He didn't have a will.
Right, she's entitled to take the whole thing. It doesn't matter that he talked and told your mother.
I can only go by what
your
my
mother
family
can
tells
make
me.
whatever decisions she wants, but legally speaking, I just want you to know how it unfolds. If he died without a will, his spouse gets everything. In any event,
there's
whatever
more-
it is,
okay.
your mother felt it was one thing and wrote off her mother over it. So
There's other things
there
like
has
that.
to be
There were.
a severe amount of baggage. There has to be a ton of other things. And I'm kind of disappointed in your mom that she didn't just say, because you say you asked her permission, do you mind if I reach out to her? She said, what your mother should have said is, I don't mind, but I want you to understand why the rift happened, so that you would be alert to a money issue.
Your
In
Honor,
any event.
Back at it, yes.
Your Honor, I don't want to lose the family. I've waited 35 years to have a family again. I'll make dinner every night. I'll clean your house. I'm sorry. I didn't make the right
Davenport?
judgment. Don't disown me, please.
Miss Davenport, I need you to listen to me.
Okay.
You can try to mend fences once you leave the courtroom, and maybe the fence can be mended, and maybe it can't. It's something for you to think about, and maybe you shouldn't be involving money in your relationship with him.
No.
And maybe you should have thought it through
Yeah, I should have.
and said to him, here's your $1,000, but can I please ask you for help? This is what's happened. You should never have just renovated your bathroom with his money when the money
know,
was
Your
intended for a
Honor.
root canal.
Am I a felon now?
Are you what?
Am I a felon?
No. No,
Okay.
you're not a felon. But you do have to return 1,000 of the 3,000 because you had no right to use that. She doesn't have to return the other 2 because those were used exactly for the purpose. Your only right when you come to court is to correct the wrong, not to change what you did. You can't turn around and say, I never offered her money for root canals. You can't turn around and say, I wish I hadn't, because it turns out that she overreached. What you have a right to is any money that she didn't use for the intended purpose, and that's just 1,000 of it. For the plaintiff, $1,000.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $1,000.
Well, I mean, I really would like to try to mend a relationship. I'm just hoping that in the future that, you know, to not really involve money and to pay back like the judge said you should have.
would. Oh, thank you.
Coming up.
So you never have anybody